I'm Andrew Ross Sorkin of DealBook for the New York Times, here with my colleague Joe Nocera, also the co-author of the new bestseller, All the Devils Are Here. Joseph, we are talking today about the insider trading scandal investigation and really what insider trading ultimately means, and whether research, what people thought of as traditional research on Wall Street, is being criminalized or maybe not.
And the answer is, we don't know yet because we don't know enough. But enough has come out at this point that you can actually worry about whether normal research, stuff that you would applaud an analyst for doing, like so-called channel checks, is going to be made illegal by this.
Okay, but let's talk about channel checks for a second, because channel checks, and let's define it for the audience, is this idea that research analysts and professional hedge fund managers and other investors are literally working the phones all day. They're talking to people inside of companies.
That's right.
Trying to get little bits of information. And the argument, I think, is this mosaic theory, that each bit of information unto itself is not material, but put together creates a mosaic which then they can use to actually get an edge over other investors.
Which for many, many, many years, for as long as I've been around, was not only perfectly legal, but you patted the research analyst on the back for doing all the extra work instead of just waiting for the company to tell them what to think.
Okay, but here's the question. If you walk into a Gap store and you ask the sales manager, how are your sales this week, right? And they say good, that may be fine. But if they say to you, our sales this week are up 9%, do you think that's a problem?
No, I don't. I think it may be a problem for the guy who told you that, but where is it wrong to walk into a Gap store and say, hey, are your sales up?
The expert networks themselves,
Okay.
because that to me is the real distinction, because these people are being paid. It's effectively going into the Gap and paying the manager for the sales figures for that week. And that to me is the big distinction.
Well, if you're going to the Gap, I mean, nobody's hiring an expert
I agree.
who's a middleman. The experts that are being hired are people that really do have inside information. And I know hedge fund guys who have told me, I know one guy in particular who I can't name, who said, I used these guys at the beginning when these companies first, and he said it scared me. And the reason it scared me is because I could totally see that the regulators would look at this with askance. And so I dropped them.
Okay, final question. Is the stock market a level playing field? Given all that we've learned about what professional investors are able to do and the access to information they have, whether we believe it's insider trading or otherwise, does a retail investor have a chance?
Oh, well, there are two answers to that. If you're a day trader, if you're a short-term guy, if you're trying to play the same game as the professionals, no, you have no chance. They have resources, they have access to information, they're paying large commissions, which gives them the first hear on anything. But you shouldn't be a day trader. And you shouldn't be. If you're a small-time guy, you shouldn't be in the market on that basis. If you're a long-term investor who buys good stocks and hold them, who cares what all this short-term stuff is? That's the distinction I make.
Okay, fair enough. Joseph, thank you. Congratulations on All the Devils Are Here.
Thank you very much.
I'm Andrew Ross Sorkin for DealBook for the New York Times.